Hi, welcome to 3D Leisure at Home with me, Gail. Going to be doing half an hour Finess Pilates, working again, guys, on your core strength. So focusing on breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. So we want a little bit of space, just the length of the mat, and a little drink in case you're thirsty, and just yourself. So hopefully you're going to join me for this half an hour, and focusing on the feet sinking into your mat, feet hip width apart and nice and grounded. Drawing the thighs back slightly so the shoulders are sinking down, head in line with your spine, and we're going to take a big deep breath in through the nose, lift the arms up to ceiling, flatten the back, and breathing out, taking the arms down. So a nice big in breath and out, in breath and out. And then we're going to just lift one hand, so make sure that you tilt the hips so the bottom is kind of tucked under, and we breathe in and breathe out. So in breath and out, in breath and out. Nice long arms, bringing that arm up in line with the ear as you lift the chest, flatten the back. And then we're going to sit back on your in breath. Again, tuck the bottom under, and out breath coming up. So nice flat long back and up. So we're just going to take the knee up with the arms to the front. So breathing in and breathing out, pushing the knee out to the side, keeping the hips level. So in breath and out. In breath, don't twist round here, just try to kind of open up the hips. So we press on out breath and in, breathing out and in, and bring that leg down. Same on the other side. So nice big in breath, breathing out, breathing in, out breath and in. Really squeeze the knee out so you feel the glute is tensing and you're opening up that hip to the front, and then bringing it back and bringing it down. We're just going to take the feet slightly wider than hip width apart, drawing the belly button in, extra tight, hands to temples, and we're just going to drop down on one side and out breath as we drop. So big deep breath in through your nose and breathe out and drop over, lift the elbow nice and high and back up. And same the other side. On your out breath, make sure your shoulder doesn't sink forward. You hold that shoulder back as you drop. So out breath and in, out breath and in. So we're going to just bring the feet a bit closer, and I'm going to just lift one leg. So we breathe out and in, breathing out and in, again digging down. So you're feeling this waist crunching, so shortening the distance here. Changing legs, breathing out and in, out breath and in. So really squeeze, out and in. So you're going to walk out after we roll down into your plank. So feet hip width apart. Take a deep breath in, roll down on your out breath. Really draw the belly button up as you drop, nice and slow. Coming down to the mat, and then you walk out into your plank position. If it's too difficult, in the plank, hands underneath your shoulders, belly button up and heels pushing back. And then we're just going to tap here one shoulder. So we opposite hand to shoulder on out breath. So breathe out and in. Out and in, breathing out and in. Option knees to floor, making this easier. And we're just working through, and then we're going to walk it back, bottom up, walking it back, and roll up nice and slow, taking it up to a big stretch, and out breath, we fold, we walk out, hold that position, and 4 taps to the shoulder, opposite hand on out breath, touching the shoulder, and then we walk back, pushing back, hang for a couple of seconds, allow your spine to open up each vertebrae, allow the head to hang. Next out breath, we roll up nice and slow, taking it up to a big stretch, and taking it back down. So we're just going to lift the knee to the front, and then we're going to balance, guys. So we want to lift the knee up to the front, hands can be forward on the hips, or they can go back when the leg comes back. So we breathe in, and then we breathe out. Now you can just tap here and lift the chest if you wish, or you can drop to a position of choice here. Focusing on the balance, stare at a little point. You can have a slight bend on your supporting leg, or you can have your straight leg. Lifting nice and high, long toes, and then slowly bring that leg down. Going to change onto the other side, lifting the knee up to the front. In breath, get your balance. Pick a little spot that you stare at, and then we drop down. Chest comes down, leg comes up, and we hold this position. Balancing, ankles working really hard to stabilise here. And then nice and slowly bring that leg back down. I'm going to do that the same again on one each side. So in breath, long spine, and out breath, and then breathe naturally. Once you're in your stretch here, holding, and then nice and slowly control as you bring that leg down. In breath, other leg, long back, out breath, just good balance, belly button drawing up every time. Focus on your core strength, and slowly bring that leg back up. So we're going to walk it back again, roll down, rolling down, walking it out. This time, once you're in your plank with a flat bottom, take the feet wider apart, and then we're going to tap back on your out breath. Opposite hand coming back to the foot, so you stretch and touch. In breath, back to your plank, out breath, touch and back. Now if you can't reach, just go to where you can. We breathe out, we touch back, we breathe in, we're flat. Breathe out, and then nice flat plank, out breath, and in, out breath, and in, out breath, and in. Knees down, sit back, knees can be split apart or together. And we're going to rest the hands, palms up, head on the mat. Couple of big, slow, deep breaths in. Allow your chest to expand onto the legs on your in breath. And out breath, sink down into the mat. In breath and out. In breath and out. So we're going to come up and we're going to do a little bit of mobility for the spine. So onto fours. Hands directly underneath the shoulders, knees underneath your hips. Out breath, we push up, draw the tummy up and tuck the head under. In breath, belly button drops down towards the mat, starts the move. Bottom lifts up and head is either forward or you can tip it back if there's no neck pain. So out breath, really lift, push up through the shoulders. And you might want to bend the elbows slightly on your in breath to allow yourself to come a little bit more into this stretch. Out breath, opening up and stretching the spine. In breath, stretching the core, front of the body, back, contracting. Out breath, pushing, and then we'll come back to centre. So we're just going to take one opposite arm and leg out, and I want you to press back through the heel and push through the hand to get this lovely stretch up the back of the leg. Getting the stretch from the Achilles right up the hamstring, and then we're going to ease out of that slightly, and then we're going to lift arm and leg. So we're going to be just tapping down, in breath and out into stretch. In breath and out. In breath and out. In, and then we're going to hold. Lengthen, tummy up, nice and flat back. Going to bend and flex this back leg. Bring the heel into the bottom, keeping the knee up. You can have the other hand on the floor if you're wobbling. And then we're going to try and reach round, grab that foot, and then push the foot into the hand to have this big stretch. And then we're going to change sides. So opposite hand and leg, toe curl down, push down through the heel, use the hand to push back. Get that stretch of the back of the leg. Breathe. Then ease out of that stretch and lift opposite hand and leg. Nice long fingers and toes. Then we're going to breathe in and breathe out, as long as you can hold your breath. We're just dropping hand and toe down, and then the stretch. And then we're going to hold, curling that foot in and out. So flex and point, flex and point. And then we're going to hold our leg in, reach round. If you can't reach, just reach to where you can. Lifting, chest is stretching as we lift as well, pushing the foot into the hand, and from there bringing that leg down, and we're going to stand back into your plank, toes back, holding, and then we're going to try and drop down towards the floor on our out breath. Knees can be to the mat to make it easier. Slowing it down, nice and slow and controlled. And then we're going to just rest the head, extend the toes slightly wider than hip width apart, and just rock from side to side. And then we're going to work our back. So we're going to pretend to do our little breaststroke swim. So if you think of when you're coming up with the shoulders, just visualise you're coming out of the water and you're trying to gasp the breath in. So when we are down with the hands out, we are out breath. Then we do like a little breaststroke. In breath and then out breath. In breath and out. In and really squeeze the elbows back so you lift to position of comfort. If it's too much, just stay down. Don't come as high. Breathing in and breathing out. So we're working deep into these lower back muscles. In breath and out. Rest if you need to rest at any given time. In breath and out. In, and then we're going to sit back into your child pose. Hands forward this time, fingertips reaching out in front, head on the mat. You can always stick a cushion between your heels and your bottom if you need to be more comfortable. Draw the elbows into centre, elbows off your mat, walk your fingers forward, have the arms active. And from there we're going to come onto our side. So we're going to come onto our side plank, elbow down. You may need to double up your mat if you have a hard floor. So your easiest option for your side plank, make sure that your body is in a total straight line from toes, hips and shoulder. Then you push up into your plank, a little bit harder, one foot in front of each other. On hardest, feet stacked on top. So the shoulder is directly in line above the other one. We lift and push up with the hip. We breathe naturally. And then we breathe in, down, breathe out, up. So in breath and out. In and out. Breathe in, breathe out. In and out. Hold in. I'm going to take my arm over my head and bring elbow, knee in together on the out breath. So out breath and in. If the hip is dropping down, take the knee onto the mat and breathe out and in. Out and in. So you have options to make it easier. Keep the hip up. Keep pushing. And then rest. I'm going to take the back leg flat foot, so you're opening up your hip. So the leg is behind the other one. This leg is directly straight. Don't have your leg out. We're going to lift the hips. So we're trying to lift both the hips up to ceiling on your in breath. It's like a little mini back bend. And when you come down, don't come onto the floor. So we lift on in breath, push up, and out breath, hover. In breath and out. Now option to make it harder, full arm. In breath and out. In breath and out. In breath and out. Holding up. Feel the stretch, hips up, breathe naturally. And then rest. 90-90 legs. Arms over to the side. In breath, lift the chest as you push forward with the hip. Making that a little bit of a bigger stretch would be to come down onto your elbows. Neck, chest is lifting. Sinking down, all the way down onto the hands, onto the forearms will be harder. But a bigger, nice controlled breathing, allowing the body to lengthen and stretch down the waist and outer part of your hip. And from there we'll push up. Changing that onto the other side. So just coming round. And again, you can double up your mat, guys. Plank of your choice. So knee on the ground is your first, one foot in front is the other, and directly on top. The shoulder again, nice straight line. Hip nice and high. In breath down, out breath up. In breath and out. In and out. Nice and controlled, pushing up. And then I'm going to take the arm above my head. Out breath and in. Out breath and in, your option. Knee on the floor. And then out and in. Or out and in. Nice big stretch. Out and in, keeping the hip up throughout. And bring it down. Bring it up to your 90-90 legs. Bring the hands round. Lift your chest on in breath, pushing down and out, making that a deeper stretch, elbows, and relaxing right down. Focus on the body getting heavier on your out breath. And then we're going to come back and we're going to roll down nice and slow. Legs can be bent or legs can be straight. We're doing our roll down, nice and slow, with the hips rolling up. So arms forward, take a deep breath in here through the nose, and as you breathe out, slowly allow your body to come down bone by bone. Don't just drop at the top, control all the way down, and reach above your head. Push the small of the back into the mat. Coming up on your in-breath towards the ceiling, so arms lifting, peel yourself up. In-breath, lift up to the ceiling, flatten that back, and out-breath, roll. Stretch. In-breath, and out-breath. Okay, we're just going to bring one knee in, so we're doing a little switch pull. So we want to breathe in on one and breathe out on the other. Higher is a little bit easier, lower is harder, and lifting the head off increases the intensity of this exercise, and squeezing up makes this a little bit harder. So pick one of your choice. So we're in breath and out, in breath and out, in and out. Really squeezing, working, tightening up the core. And then a little hug, drop the head, squeeze in. Couple of little tucks here. So I'm going to take one knee in and extend the other leg out straight onto the mat. Lift the chest up. Now to make this a little bit more difficult, lift that foot off the floor. Push your chest up. Now I'm going to take the hands away from the knees to the temples and try to keep the same distance between the knee and the chest. And then I'm going to pulse here. Push up. So breathe out and in. Out and in. If it's too difficult, rest that leg on the floor. Breathing out and in. And a little hug. So from there, we take the other leg. So remember which leg you did last. Draw the knee in tight first. Get a little stretch onto the glute. And then we lift up the chest. Lift up the leg. And then hands to temples, and pulse. Out and in, out and in. So really squeeze. Leg on the floor if it's too difficult. And rest. Well done, again. So from there, we are going to take the hands underneath the knees, bring yourself up to seated, take the hands behind, take the legs out straight in front. So push the legs into the mat, get active legs. From there, we're going to come down onto the elbows, drawing the belly button down extra tight. And I'm going to take the arms forward, so we're going to lift one arm, so breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out, in and out, breathing in and out, in breath, out breath, in and out, and have a little rest. So just lift the legs into a little stretch, so out breath and in. try and follow the toe. So we breathe out, trying to bring the leg back to a big stretch. In breath down, out breath and in. Out breath and in. And rest the legs. So now we're going to have active legs again. So we want to draw the belly button down, push the legs down. And then we're going to lift both the arms. If it gets too difficult, go back to single arms. And here we go, ready. Try and keep this upper body in the same position. And we just slide the arms up into lift. Hold this belly button down extra tight. Keep the space between the chin. And if you need to come down and have a rest, so you can come down, have a little rest, then come back in or stay with single arms. Tummy down, extra tight, guys. Squeeze it. And roll it down. Yeah, stretch, feel that. Big stretch, put the small of the back into the mat, imprint on your mat, so you can feel the lower back pushing down. And then from here, we're going to come up onto just toes and hands, reaching together. So we breathe out, we breathe in, breathe out, and in. I need more space. So out breath in one, and in on the down, out breath, and in. Making that harder, coming up onto your sit bones and rolling down. Always the roll down of your spine, not just slumping down. So out breath, in on the roll, out breath, and in, out breath, and in, and rest, stretch. Okay, going to bend the legs, bring your heels in closer to your bottom, and then we're going to take the legs up to tabletop. So knees directly above your hips, heels in line with the knees. Don't have your heels down, don't have your knees in. So nice 90, pushing up the chest. And on the out breath, we straighten up one leg, but keep the two knees in line together. In breath down. So breathe out and in, shortening the distance between your hips and the ribs. So breathe out and in, so we crunch. Out breath, really squeezing tight, breathing out and in. If it's too difficult, then you can take the legs onto the floor, or you can just tighten up as you lift the legs. So out breath and in, out breath and in, and have a little rest. So from there, we're going to lift both legs together. So from the 90, so you push up with the chest. And again, if you need to rest the head down and just work on drawing your core in as you lift the legs, you can do that. So I'm shortening the distance here, really squeezing down the belly button. So navel to spine. And as I lift, I push, breathe out, and in breath, out. I'm really tightening up here, guys. Out breath through the nose, out breath, sorry, in through the nose, out breath through the mouth, in. So as you come up, you want to squeeze, out breath, and in breath, out breath, and in, and in. Really squeeze. So as hard as you make it, the more you tighten up, the more you'll feel the effort. And lift, hold the legs up, reach up, flex the feet, and just pulse lift. Breathe out and in, out and in. I'm going to add a little twist in, trying to tap around the outside of the foot. So out breath and in, out and in, out and in. Speeding this up a little bit, really working on the twist. And then we're going to work staying with the obliques. So we're going to take the legs down, hands to temples, feet wider than hip width apart, out breath and in, out breath and in. And you can make that from 90 as well, tabletop, out breath and in, out breath and in. Higher legs easier, lower legs harder, or you can keep with the legs on the floor and work within your means. And little twist and in and out, speeding this up now, one on each, in breath and out. Not holding the breath. And again, and stretch out. Time has gone so quick. Not ready to finish. Big stretch. Okay, we're just going to come up, grab into the knees. I'm just going to finish off with a little fun one. I'm going to try and roll down and up with the legs apart. So I'm going to take the ankles, take the legs up, take the legs out. So we hold this high chest position and we're going to do a roll down. Roll and try and come up. So we roll, come up, try and stop, on your up, pause, in breath, and out and hold. You can still keep trying if you wish, holding wide, chest up, bring the toes together, in breath, and out breath. In breath, so it's like a little V, little diamond, out breath. In, if you can't manage, take the hands behind and just work the legs. The hands can be just placed behind. Keep it going. Hold out a couple of seconds, maybe 4, 3, 2, and 1. Legs out in front. Hinge, lift up on in breath. Breathe out, drop. Couple of breaths in your fold, head down. Rolling up nice and slow, bending the legs. Opposite hand on the knee, hand behind, lift your chest on in breath, twist round on out breath. Breathe naturally on the twist. Changing that. In breath, up, out breath, twist. Taking that into your waist stretch, breathing in, breathing out, lift the shoulder back, opposite side, breathing in, breathing out, and then just take your hand down, head over, breathe out, push down into the mat, stretching neck and shoulder, change side, out breath, pushing down, and back to centre, drop the head down, ease the head forward if you wish with the hands interlocked behind the head. You don't have to use the hands, you can just drop your head. And then pushing out to the front on out breath. In breath, hold, increase on your out. Taking the hands behind, breathing out, arms pushing away from your bottom and lifting up your back. Hold, breathe naturally. Take a big deep breath in, arms up, and breathe out. Big deep breath in, and out. And last one, guys, breathing in, and breathing out. Thank you for joining me today. Hope you have a fabulous weekend. Go on to have a good day, and any comments, put them up and I'll get back to you. And thanks again for joining me. Take care. Bye.